My best friend's little sister was flirting with my husband in front of me, so I called her out in front of everyone. Now, her family wants a public apology. I'm 31F and close friends with Lisa, 33F. We met in college, became roommates, and I love her to death. Lisa has a sister, Amy, 20F, whom I occasionally met in college, but she was so young at the time that we never really hung out. Lisa had a bridal shower in February, and I financially contributed to most of it since I couldn't be there in person to help with the planning. I gave money to Amy to pay for everything, the decor, food, and alcohol. I even paid for an overnight stay at a hotel for all 7 girls. I did all this because I couldn't make it to Lisa's hen party the week before, where I had also paid for the limo Amy wanted to host the party in. At the shower, I saw Amy, and she was gushing about how I had spent a lot of money on Lisa. I just said that if it's for Lisa, I would have paid for anything. Amy was hinting that my job was paying me so much money that I could spend this much on Lisa. I'm a new surgeon, just graduated from residency. I got a pay bump, but not a lot. I'm lucky because my husband is supporting me while I go through fellowship. My husband, 40M, is a doctor too, but he's much more advanced in his career than I am. For my wedding gift, he paid off the remainder of my student loans. He is amazing, and I am obsessed with him. The wedding happened in March. My husband and I attended, and family and close friends were invited to Lisa's parents' place for dinner afterward. Well, Amy was very handsy with my husband, even during the wedding. She was asking him about his job, how smart he was to be working in the ICU, how hot he was, how he looks like a young Alain Delon, etc. My husband was giving me signals to come to him, and I did. This happened at least 2 more times at Lisa's parents' place. Amy was wrapping her arm around my husband's back and serving him drinks and food. I told Lisa's mom about how Amy's behavior was making my husband and me very uncomfortable. Her mom pulled her aside and told her off, I think, because she came out grumpy. She was still acting like a crazy teenager because when we wanted to leave, she wouldn't give my husband his jacket back and kept sniffing it. I had a feeling that she was drunk and completely out of it. My husband raised his voice and told her to stop messing around and give it to him. I yelled, "Can you stop being so difficult? You've been shamelessly flirting with my husband in front of me the whole day. Give me the damn jacket and leave us alone." I got a text from Lisa's mom demanding I publicly apologize to Amy, as in post on social media a heartfelt apology, because some of the guests heard me yell at her and thought I was overreacting and humiliated her. Lisa is on my side and told me Amy has always had gold-digging tendencies and that this isn't the first time she's done something like this. She flirted with her friend's dad and their next-door neighbor who was married when she thought that they were wealthy. Lisa said that she'll handle it. I already felt so bad for ruining the last moments of her wedding day, and now she has to deal with this. I've been ruminating on this a lot lately and wondering if I should apologize to Amy. I don't want to, but if I did, I would explain exactly what happened and how it merited my reaction to her, though this might add fuel to the fire. There is so much drama right now, and I want to preserve my friendship with Lisa. What the hell would you guys do? Update 1. Well, my post got so popular that Amy's mom found it and texted me to take it down, in all caps. I didn't apologize to anyone or do anything at all. Frankly, I forgot about it since I had people close to dying on me left and right at work. I gaslighted Amy's mom into thinking that I never did such a thing, and that I didn't have an account to post on. She believed it, I think, since she didn't text me back for clarification. One of you said I had the spine of a jellyfish, and that not apologizing was the right thing to do. I was hesitant, and was actually considering giving that apology because she fed me and let me stay in her home during Thanksgiving and Christmas many years ago when I couldn't go home to my family. I'm the kind of person who will remember every good thing you do for me and do my best to reciprocate or get even so as not to be indebted to you. I don't know what kind of mental illness that is. I never retained much of the psychiatric info from med school. A lot of people insinuated that me being docile and restrained in those kinds of situations makes me a bad surgeon, to which I say, I beg your effing pardon? Would you want someone who's operating on you to have a criminal record for causing bodily harm? Also, I've dealt with worse than Amy. I survived handling 19 psychotic patients with TBIs for a whole rotation. Me being aggressive would have gotten me kicked out of my fellowship. Things that have transpired. I tried to avoid contacting Lisa since she went off on her honeymoon, but because of the popularity of my previous post, I decided to give her a heads up. Lisa was more than apologetic. In fact, she video called me, and we had a very teary conversation about her family. There was a lot more going on that I never knew, but my and my husband's involvement in her family drama was the last straw. She decided to go no contact with her mom and sister. She also warned me that Amy might approach my husband in some way, but she had no idea how. She's also getting her extended family involved about Amy. My husband does not have any social media, so hot, and he did not give out his number to anyone at all during the wedding. He is very particular about loyalty and transparency in our marriage. We have access to each other's electronics. I know he would never cheat on me. 3 days ago, someone called my husband's clinic asking to get his number for an emergency and said she needed to get a hold of his wife. The nurse who answered refused to give a physician's personal number, and the conversation got heated. My husband's colleague, another intensivist, took over and asked her to tell him what the emergency was so that he could relay the message to my husband himself. The person on the phone argued some more, and when the doctor wouldn't give in, she hung up. That friend told my husband what happened and said the woman didn't give her name, but had a very high-pitched, childlike voice. My husband immediately knew it was Amy, but we have no proof. I know it was her. She must have searched my husband's name and found where he worked since his professional profile is online, along with the name of his hospital. I'm getting more and more irritated by this whole thing and have gone full-on mama bear mode over my husband. He was furiously annoyed after the wedding and was saying if the genders were switched, Amy would have definitely gotten punched not even halfway through the wedding. My husband had terrible experiences with women before. 2 women at different times tried to baby trap him. One did some Sherlock-level manipulation, and one harassed us when we were dating. He is usually a cool and calm guy, but he hasn't been smiling or joking around with me like he always does ever since the wedding. Anyway, my uncle, our lawyer, was consulted, and security at my husband's department and around our home have been notified. Thank you, guys. P.S. Amy's mom, if you're reading this, do something about Amy before something bad happens. Also, you don't deserve your older daughter. Update 2. We have the number of the woman who called, but it wasn't Amy's number. She could have gotten another number. At the time, I was almost confident it was her, so I got the name of the person the phone number was registered to, CC. What threw me off was that this person had been using that number for 7 years. However, I later found out this woman lived in the area where Amy lives. I called Lisa to ask if she knew who CC is, and lo and behold, CC is Amy's best friend. I told Lisa about the call to the clinic, and she went silent before ending the call. The next day, Lisa texted me that Amy had confessed to making the call. It turns out Amy had gone through my Instagram followers and contacted my husband's family with false claims of my infidelity. She reached out to my mother-in-law, 2 sisters-in-law, and my 13-year-old niece. Thankfully, they were skeptical and informed my husband, who was furious. Lisa later sent me a recording of a call with Amy, where Amy admitted to everything and made serious threats, including planning to report me to the state medical board without any basis. We consulted my lawyer uncle and sent Amy a cease and desist letter. I also informed my chief of surgery and the head of my program to preempt any potential issues with the medical board. The board's investigation into my situation didn't have to involve doctor-patient interactions. A doctor can be reported for harassment in any context. Despite the warnings, they had to conduct preliminary investigations and interview me, which was a major inconvenience, especially since I'm 5 months pregnant. Thankfully, the case is now closed. A few days later, Amy, with my niece, showed up with more supposed evidence of my infidelity. My niece alerted her mom, who informed us. We obtained a court-ordered restraining order against Amy. Throughout this ordeal, Lisa was incredibly supportive. She used her access to Amy's email and Instagram to expose Amy's attempts to wreck my marriage by posting screenshots and call snippets online. Lisa changed the passwords to prevent Amy from deleting it and got her family to pressure Amy's mom using family inheritance as leverage. Amy clearly has serious issues. I'm hoping this is the last we hear from her, but I'm wary she might try something again. Lisa has promised to keep watch and take action if needed. My husband and I are attending couples counseling and are doing well. He's planning an intimate gender reveal soon.